about a massive puzzle that global corporations have to solve every single month. How do you take financial data from all over the world and piece it together into one single coherent picture? Well, today, we're going to show you how to unlock that puzzle. So picture this. You've got a company with a factory in Germany, a sales team in the US, a design studio in Japan, and a distribution center in Brazil. Now, each one of those places, they're using their own currency, their own local accounting rules, maybe even different software. How on earth do you take all of that, all those different pieces, and turn it into one single, reliable financial report for the entire group? It's a huge, incredibly complex task. All right, let's put a face to this problem. Meet our new accountant at the bike company. They just got hired, and their big mission is to help create that single source of truth for the whole company. But what they don't know yet is that they're about to walk straight into a recurring monthly nightmare. Yeah, we're talking about the old way of doing things. You might know it as the month-end scramble. And trust me, it is every bit as chaotic and painful as it sounds. So what's this scramble actually look like for a new accountant? Well, first, all the local teams around the world have to close their own books. Then someone has to go in and manually pull all that data out of a dozen different systems. After that, you've got to load all of it into a totally separate consolidation system. And it's only then, days later, that you can even start looking for mistakes. And when you find one, and you always find one, you have to go all the way back to the beginning and start over. It's just slow, super inefficient, and basically a recipe for disaster. So after their first brutal month end, our accountant is sitting there thinking exactly this. There has to be a better way. And thankfully for them, and for all of us, there is. And that better way is SAP S4HANA for group reporting. It's a solution designed to fix this exact problem. Now the keyword here, the magic word, is integrated. Instead of a bunch of separate systems that don't talk to each other, you get one single solution for everything: consolidation, analysis, and reporting, all running on the very same platform. Now, what's really cool about this is that it completely flips the script on how we think about this whole process. Consolidation stops being this painful thing you do at the very end of the month. Instead, it becomes a continuous, ongoing part of your day-to-day financial process. And you know what? That changes absolutely everything. Okay, before we dive deeper, let's just quickly break down some of the jargon so we're all on the same page. A consolidation unit is just a fancy term for a subsidiary, like one of the local companies. A consolidation group is just a bunch of those units you want to include in a report. A financial statement item is the account at the group level. And a posting level? That's just a little tag that tells you where the data is in the process. See? Not so scary when you break it down, right? So how does this actually work? What's the secret sauce here? What's the magic that gets rid of that painful month-end scramble our accountant just survived? This slide just lays it all out perfectly. On the left, you've got the old way. Think of it like a bunch of separate buckets of data with a big wall between them. You only bring them together at the very end. But on the right, that's the new way. It's not separate buckets. It's one continuous river of information with no silos at all. And this whole idea has a name. It's called continuous accounting. Honestly, if you remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this phrase. It's the philosophy that changes the entire game. And the benefits? Oh, they're huge. For our accountant, this means no more time wasted manually loading data. The quality of the data is way better because everyone's working from the same playbook. Invalidations? They happen in real time, all the time, not just at the last minute. All of this adds up to a much faster close, and, maybe most importantly, a lot more trust in the numbers. And when I say faster, I mean seriously, dramatically faster. Just look at this. We're talking about taking a process that took weeks of headaches and stress and shrinking it down to just a matter of days. That is a huge amount of time that you're giving back to the finance team every single quarter. And the transparency you get is a total game changer. Imagine this. You're looking at the final revenue number for the entire global company. With a single click, you can drill all the way down to the individual invoice in a small subsidiary on the other side of the world. That's the kind of audit trail that builds real confidence. So yeah, our accountant at the bike company, they're way happier now. But this is about so much more than making one person's job easier. What does this mean for the entire business? Let's zoom out and look at the big picture. You see, this isn't just one piece of software we're talking about. It's a whole connected ecosystem. It plugs into your planning and analysis tools, So you can see not just where you've been, but where you're going. It can even pull in data from companies that don't run on SAP, and it helps get those final numbers ready for official reports. It's the whole shebang, from start to finish. And this right here is the real payoff. This is not just about closing the books faster. It's about changing the very role of the finance team. They go from being historians, looking in the rearview mirror at old data, to being forward-looking strategic partners who can give leaders a real-time view of the business. And that means smarter, faster decisions. So let me just leave you with this question. What if closing the books wasn't this big, stressful event you dread every single month? What if instead it was just a continuous, easy conversation with your data? A conversation that gives you insights instead of headaches. Hello